Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. This is episode 6 of the DadFit.Podcast, Save It for the Pod series. Head over to our Instagram page at DadFit.Podcast to keep up with the latest news and guests. And send us a message if you want a feature on the pod. We've had a few people reach out to us, so yeah, do that. Today's pod will be a little bit shorter than normal. It's just literally a catch-up session for me and James to chat about training progress, and then we'll do our main episode Saturday with our special guest, Alex. We actually have a bit of a market growing in the US this week, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So thank you to everyone over the pond who's listening. Send us a message on Instagram and let us know where you're from in the US, and we'll give you a shout-out next week. You may have noticed myself and James wearing a DadFit podcast t-shirt. So again, yes, reach out, send us a message if you would like to see us release them for general sale. We know we've had some interest in that. So we are tight on time tonight. So we'll head straight over to James. James, how was your competition, mate?
Yeah, it was very, very good. Probably the proudest moment of my CrossFit journey, actually, because
oh damn,
yeah, it was really cool day from start to finish. It was it was just a really awesome day out. So I competed on Saturday in the mixed pairs comp in CrossFit Llanelli with Deanna from the gym. Mm-hmm. It was just went down there early doors. Just absolutely smashed out the park, really. We both did. I sort of went down with a little bit of a different mentality than I have the first two comps, because as you're aware, I was a nervous wreck in the first two competitions.
It was literally like you were going to war.
It was just sort of just a nervous wreck and a bag of nerves to the point where I struggle to enjoy them, if you know what I mean. Yeah. You know, the stomach's doing somersaults all day long. You couldn't eat any food the day or two before or during. Whereas I think you went in there a bit more cool and calm than I did, because you've obviously got a lot more experience than I did.
Yeah, but, once you've done two now, so like you said, you know what you're expecting, and
exactly, yeah. So
you actually get like an excited energy then, don't you?
That's exactly right. I just went down there with a complete different mentality of, okay, James, you know, it's hard to turn off the nerves, isn't it, so to speak? But I just thought, go down there, enjoy the day. What will be. Go down with a positive attitude as well, because I find out I'm really negative a lot when it comes to any sport, really. And I mind CrossFit. It's always, that movement's not good for me, you know, this and that. And I'm sick of that now. I just sort of went down there with a positive minute. I didn't care what it was. I mean, the first event was assault bike, and I just thought, you know what, absolutely fine, crack on. went in with a positive attitude, and I just, you know, we're just going to go in there. We had a strategy going in. We ended up winning our heat, awesome, you know, which is unbelievable. Heat of 6 people, and we blew the field though. So it was just something different about that about Saturday, and it really worked, to be fair. And just wanted to give Deanna a shout out, really, as well. She's awesome. Beast. I mean, absolute beast. We got together a few weeks back, got on a 6 a.m. partner ward in the gym, and we absolutely smashed the ward on the day. And I just said to her, tongue in cheek, next time a mixed pairs comp comes up, we're going in. And she was like, yeah, too right, I'm up for that. And it just so happened to be one of the girls, Charlotte, then posted on Instagram about this comp, and I said, do you fancy it? And she did, and we just went for it. And she's just an absolute beast. Like, she's Olympic lifting is absolutely spot on. She's beast on the ergs. She throws a dumbbell around like it's paperweight, and she got an engine for days as well. So yeah, wow. big shout out to her. She was really, really cool, calm, and collected throughout it, and just really, really great to perform with her, to be fair.
It's awesome.
And so we a quick run through the events. Event one was assault bike. Was an AMRAP, 8-minute AMRAP, you go, I go style. It was 10 cals for me and 8 for D on the assault bike, straight into 6 knee raises, which is a bit of a change of pace from doing toes to bar in a gym and knee raise. But
that's a dangerous number, that 10 cals, because that's quick.
Like, it was quick. And
were they echo bikes or assault bikes?
Echo bikes, which was good because I'm used to echo bike. Obviously, I haven't been on an assault bike for ages, so I was quite glad of that, and we were quite lucky, not lucky, but we were relieved that we were the third heat. So unfortunately, Dean and Charlotte, who were competing with us, made the mistake of calling a team name Burpees and Beers, I think it was. So obviously they were the first heat, and they were stone cold. They had to jump, and they just had to go straight on. And they obviously went out a bit too hot, as most teams did, and most teams continued doing. To be fair, and me and Dan were like, okay, let's not go too hard. It's 8 minutes.
Long time.
4 minutes. Yeah, it's a lot of assault bike, So we sort of paced the first 4 minutes. I think I was hammering out about 75 cadence, something like that, and I felt great. We were rinsing through and letting the knee raises, no problem. And our judge was going, you know what, this is great. You're pacing this really well. And then with 4 minutes to go, or 3 or 4 minutes to go, I just started hammering it. And we absolutely paced it perfectly because I had gas in me, towards the end of the workout, and where everyone around us was dropping like flies in our heat, we were stepping on it and putting our foot on the gas, So it worked out absolutely perfectly. And like I said, we won the heat, and I think we finished sixth overall then. So yeah, that was a really good start to the day. So that was a good start.
Yeah, if we look at that sort of workout, like everything we've done in our comps have been like, right, we pace the beginning and then pick it up later on. Has never worked because the time limit's been so small.
Yeah, quite right.
But with this one was an 8 minute, and
yeah,
it was probably, well, if I looked at me on an assault bike to do 10 cars, I'm done in seconds.
Exactly. Yeah,
going all out, and then 6 knee raises again.
Nothing, is it?
5-10 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So within 30 seconds you should be done.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of work.
That's what I mean.
In 8 minutes. Pacing that is perfect because you'll have the tendency, like 10 cars you can send on an assault bike, but if you send that in the first 2 minutes, your heart rate's through the roof, you gassed. You're done.
That's the problem. As you know, and we all know with an assault bike, if you run out of gas in the assault bike, it does not move. It doesn't move.
Especially your echo bike.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was all about getting the strategy right for that one, and we got it spot on, to be fair. And so that was a really good start to the day there. And then the second event was and bear in mind, I'm not sure if I liked this or I did. I might have liked this, but they released the WODs one by one as the day went on, So it was a bit like we didn't have a clue what we were doing.
Yeah,
I quite like that aspect a little bit. I like it,
but it throws you off. So when I competed in CrossFit Valencia with Dave, they literally announced it on the morning, like, this is workout one. And then you do it. And then once that's finished, they like pull out the board again and go, this is workout two.
Yeah.
Which is, it's good atmosphere because everyone's like around the board and going,
I haven't got a clue.
For fuck's sake, 60K thrusters. What the hell? How are we going to do that? You don't have time to think and strategize about it.
Yeah. You just go. That's exactly what I was like, yeah. I felt sorry for Dean and Shaw because they only hit one every time. And it was like, I'll speak about the head judge in a minute, but she wasn't very clear with the workouts, to be fair. Okay. So it was a bit of a confusion and stuff like that. So it wasn't great, but yeah, I think I don't mind that. I don't mind, not knowing the WODs till they turn till it turns up, till the minutes before, sort of thing.
It's pretty cool. It gives you that extra bit of excitement on the day.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you see a workout which you know is going to be shit, and you know about it going in, you're mentally thinking about
that,
threading it. Whereas you find out and they're like, right, heat one starts in 20 minutes. This is workout one. It's like, okay, you got no time to think about it. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're going off subject a little bit, but that Castle Games workout I sent you for our comp, the worm, like, that's not going to be fun.
No,
and like
the worm is never fun.
That's playing on everyone's minds already. It's like shit, that worm. And what's the next bit going to be?
Yeah.
Whereas if they just said event 2 is the worm, and they go, right, heat 1 you're on in 10 minutes, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, you just got to go.
It's got to go, guys. Whereas now everyone's like, right, so we need to practice. Probably going to overthink it.
Yeah. Quite right. Like we overthought quite a few of them events. We really said, didn't we, and stuff like that. But yeah, so maybe I like it. I probably do actually. Because obviously, it did quite well, so maybe it does work in my favor. That sort of format. But so again, event 2 was released as event 1 finished, and it was a hang squat clean workout, and it was an ascending ladder. and you had to do 6 reps. That could be between you. Obviously, the ladies' weight was different to the men's weight. Obviously, a little less as they tend to be, and it was just an ascending ladder. It just started at about 30 for the women and 43 for the men or something like that. Then it went up and up and up and up. I think the last weight was about 96, something like that. Maybe it crept up 100. But it was an AMRAP. I think you only had 6 minutes, which wasn't enough for me. And the strategy was don't panic, because again, like changing weights and all that, we've been there and me and panicked, and I fudged up a couple of times on our workouts where my head is spinning 100 mile an hour, and I just thought I'm not gonna panic. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna load the weights. The trouble was as well, it was a bit awkward because they didn't have enough weights there. So like, say I wanted 5s and Deanne wanted 5s, we had to swap.
Yeah.
So we kind of fudged the strategy up a little bit. The strategy we went in was we were going to go 6 reps each for the first 3 or 4 weights, because I was comfortable up until about 63k, and then that was my sticking point where I thought, can I hang squat clean 63k? Probably, but I didn't want to blow out either. So it was okay. When we get to 63, we'll do 3 reps each. So I'll do 63 and then a 3, and then she'll do a. In hindsight, I probably could have done M6 unbroken, and we just ran out of time in the end. And I think my last weight was 76, I think it was. So I was getting up there, but we just sort of run out of time in the end. And what we should have done is what Charlotte and Dean did. Charlotte did 4 reps because she's a strong girl. And then Dean did 2. He's also strong, but obviously Charlotte is a little bit stronger with the women's weights than Dean is with the men's, which is exactly the same as me and Deanne.
Yeah.
So what I should have done is let Deanne do the 4 reps at her weight, and then me do 2 at my weight, And I think we could have rifled through and gone up the ladder a bit further there then. But we ended up 12th. We ended up 12th in our event, which we
still good, mate.
It's all right, good. But in a weight, we're never going to smash a weightlifting event, really.
No, and they're always tricky, especially when you're. I go back to my Valencia comp when we were doing a max snatch event, I think it was.
Yeah.
And obviously, me and Dave were competing with snatching different weights, but they only had a limited amount of bumper plates as well.
Yeah.
So you were kind of like, oh, if I want to do 75, it's like, well,
big jump,
you can't. You have to go to 80 because there's no 5s.
Yeah. That's a problem, isn't it?
That's what you get in like local gym comps. And you just got to get on. It's frustrating at the time, but then when you look back, you think, oh well,
Yeah.
But when you go to the bigger ones, they tend to have more of a variety there. But
I bet. But the main focal point going in as well is I wanted to keep my form good, and I wanted to maintain good form, and I wanted to be smooth my reps, and I didn't want to fail a rep either. Ideally, exactly opposite to what I did instead, where I panicked. My form went out the window, and I was pretty much deadlifting 85k rather than actually cleaning it to my rack. So I honestly have well chuffed the form and the technique and the way everything went. So there's still loads of positives come out with that.
That's good, mate. And
just if we'd had a couple more minutes, we probably could have shot up that ladder a bit more. But
yeah, and they're always tricky workouts. Those.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never been able to do one of them where I think, right, okay, I strategized that perfectly and had the right mentality going into it, because the time windows are so short, and if you miss a lift,
the one in Castle Games was a bit brutal, really, for us, wasn't it? I mean, again, ideally, if we did that again, I'd just get my 60k and get the hell out of the way and let you carry on.
Yeah,
that's what I should have done. Ideally, should have just focused on you, because you were hitting the big lifts. Like, I should have just nailed the 60 and then gone, right, I'm out. It's down to you now. Really, that's what we should have done, Carl. But look, like I say, you live and learn, don't you, from these, these experiences. They were very, we're very beginners, and we competing, so amateurs.
I did 2 pre-COVID, and then so this year's been my first real year competing, same as you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
we're gonna make mistakes, aren't we?
I'm treating this year as learn.
Yeah.
And then
absolutely same. Yeah.
Entered a few comps for next year, RX, which I want to go into with a different mindset and a bit more experience, and know where to push the pedal and where.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Okay, I'll just do damage control maybe in this workout, because it's not up my street.
Yeah. Another little error we made as well is we kept putting the clips on, which is silly really because it's hang squat cleaning the bars, not actually touching the floor like.
Yeah.
And the guy said they were shouting at us, but you know what it's like, you zone out in a workout, didn't you? And I didn't hear that.
Yeah, some places though, whenever I've competed and it's been a barbell lift, they tell you have to put the clips on.
Well, this place there was no standards really, mate. There was all out the window. We'll discuss that in a little bit now. But yeah, event 3 was a chipper. So as soon as he announced that, I turned to Deanne and we both just smiled at each other and we were like,
high five.
Okay, this is our workout. Obviously, lots of reps, lots of intensity, lots of fitness. It was 3 parts, but it was essentially for time. It was the first movement was it was a burpees over the worm. So it was 10 burpees over the worm synchro into 20 burpee bar taps, which I don't mind. Then it was 30 snatch from the floor. Dumbbell snatch from the floor. But then what you're going to laugh at the weights. It was 15 for me and 10 for her. Yeah. Honestly, I was throwing that thing around. It was obviously no putting it down. It was just go and it felt pretty good to be throwing a 15 around compared to a train 2.5, to be honest. But
okay, and the thing is, you're still getting a good intensity from it.
Oh yeah, it was still. It was go. It was go. It was no. You had to just go. So we absolutely we done them, no problem. Then it was back to the burpees over the worm, 10 synchro burpees over the worm into 12 box step overs, or you could jump wherever you wanted to do, and into 30 clean and jerks from the short for hang clean and jerks.
Okay.
Again, alternating hands, all these movements are. Then the last part of it was 10 synchro burpees over the worm into, what was the last movement? Overhead lunge it was a 30-meter overhead lunge.
Those come back to haunt you again.
Yeah, they come back to haunt me. Do you know what? I really don't mind them. I
love them.
I found it a good movement for me, Carl. They really are. Again, just like Sid, there was the big lads there who were struggling their bollocks off with them. They were shaking all over the place. They couldn't maintain that overhead stability.
Crazy,
and lockout. And unbelievable. But I flew them. I'm just trying to think what else was there. It was 10, 20, 30. What was it? 20 there? Oh, it was devil's press. Single arm devil's press, which they got a bit gassy. You did 10 each of them, obviously. Even with a lightweight, they still get a bit gassy.
Yeah, it's just a tough movement.
And I forgot to say, after each part, it was 100 single skips as well. So really got your heart rate up. But yeah,
sounds like a really good.
It was a really good chip, and it was go. We absolutely smashed it, and we finished 4th in that overall.
Wow.
So yeah, quite chuffed for that, and we got stiffed a bit as well on that workout because the judging was horrendous, and there was a lot of shouting from my support crew there. Rachel lost her mind, to be fair.
Some bad no reps.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, for start, our judge was fantastic, right? She told us all the standards, and we had the same judge all the time. And also, we were stuck in a corner of the gym, which was fine up until this event, because every time we did burpees over the worm, we had to roll the worm out the way then to do our skipping, and it was catching the edge of the building. Oh, it was murder, yeah. And so that took time. Then we had to roll the box out to do the box. Because that's not
fair. They should have just made another heat.
And also, they just didn't think it through. It was really poor organizing, really. To do the overhead lunge, we had to walk into another room. And obviously the transition for us, the transition for us was longer than anywhere else because we were right in the corner.
Oh, so you have to go to the other end of the
and also
floor and then go
another disadvantage of us, anyone in the outside, which was 1, 2, 3, 4 other boxes, was just skipping outside their box, no problem at all. They had all the room in the world, they weren't even skipping inside their box. And that was every heat was doing that. So the dumbbell snatch, obviously both ends of the dumbbell are supposed to touch the floor, aren't they?
Yeah.
Nearly every other team, one dumbbell was touching the floor. And no matter how much Rachel, Dan, and all the other guys were shouting and screaming at these judges, they didn't do a damn thing about it. There was even some people who weren't even touching the floor. Were there?
Wow.
There was one woman, right, who was snatching all their left arm. And this judge, he was half asleep. He was just watching a guy. I was going, mate, the woman is snatching with one hand. there was people doing box jumps and they weren't putting their 2 feet down. So they were sort of just doing one leg down, one leg down like that.
Really?
So yeah, it was a really, really...
That's sad, that is, I think.
It's just people pay their money, like, and, you know, we pay our money. These judges, this one judge admitted he'd never done CrossFit, never seen or done CrossFit in his life. Okay. So how was he expected to maintain the standards, isn't it? And the head judge, right? Oh, don't get me started on it. Right? Like, oh, we were all sort of... She was griping us all. She was just wandering around, dancing around, talking to everyone. She wasn't doing her job. Like, she was absolutely shocking, Carl. And I got that fed up. I went down off the balcony and went and had a word with him. And I just said, look, I said,
listen, Lev, you're going to end up being on a podcast here, so shut up.
She is on a podcast. I'm giving her a big stern shout out because she was shocking. You know, she's supposed to be a head judge. She's supposed to be going around making sure the movements are being adhered to. And they weren't. Me and Deanne had a massive disadvantage. And we finished 4th in our ward. And we finished like seconds behind the same a team in our heat.
That's piss poor.
We would have beat that team in our heat, right? Because that team in our heat were not maintaining the standards. They weren't putting it down properly. They weren't skipping outside the box. And they had a couple of meter walk to the overhead lunge, which just like...
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
Yeah.
I get really like the judges are volunteers. Like I'm judging in the Catholic Games, and I'm no judge, but I know what the movements are, and you know
you're going to make an effort,
what's the no rep, and I'll make an effort to make sure that people are following the guidelines. You know, but
it's just not fair, is it, on everyone else? Like, you know, it's not.
Sort of... And if you've never done CrossFit and never seen it, how the fuck can they let you be a judge? I don't. I think you need to know what CrossFit is and have done it to understand. Like, you know, these are the rules and these are the tolerances. So it does just piss you off when you're pushing as hard as you can to work on.
Yeah,
being at a disadvantage is wrong. They should at least either just put you in a different heat or make another heat, or give you an allowance. Like, you know, if you've got to walk to the other end of the floor to do a lunge, that's fine. So as long as everyone else has to walk over to your area to do something else. So when you see in the CrossFit Games that when they have to do a run normally,
they all come
it works
back.
Up because
it does,
go into the same lanes. Whereas
it's just really poorly organized, to be fair. That event, you just do a static overhead lunge or something, innit?
Yeah, why do a 30-meter one? Just
do a static overhead lunge rather than walking outside your box. And so it was really poor.
Or an overhead squat.
I approached her and she was sort of, oh, well, we don't have to do 2 ends. Well, I said, why is the judge enforced an hour then? Oh, did she? Who is she? I was like, it doesn't matter who she is. I said, she's just doing her job. I said, I'm not having to go with the judge. I'm just having to, And she was like, oh, it doesn't say that. And then she changed her tone then, and she was like, what did she say in the end? I can't remember, but she said, I'll go around now and make sure everyone's doing it. And I was like, okay. And she did, to be fair, but too late then. By that point. But just rattling through. It was quite a bit of a roller coaster then, because we thought we were joint 6th, and we weren't sure how many was going to be in the final. So we were a bit annoyed because we thought we got stiffed out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so there's a big gap between the heat 3 and the final as well, because this chip is quite long. I mean, it took us 10:30, I think. So it was a big gap. So we didn't have a clue whether we were going to be in a final. I was sort of up for it. I was sort of thinking, I think we are going to get in the final. I don't know why. I just thought we were.
With that chance, so.
Deanna checked out a little bit. She was sort of kipping on herself a little bit. She was a bit down in her depths. Like,
especially when you're getting, shafted like that. You're tired. You just kind of think, do you know, fuck.
It was. We were a bit demoralized, to be fair. Yeah. But anyway, it turned out that we looked at the leaderboard. There must have been some sort of discrepancy, or we ended up being joint 5th. So it was like,
maybe they put you in because you kicked off.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But we were in. We were joint 5th, 6th. So it was like, yes, we're in the final. Like, unbelievable. I was so chuffed. It's like, awesome, D, get your ass in Kia. We're going down. We're in with final.
Get an knock on you.
And then when they announced the final, again, it was like, looked at each other, smiles on our faces, thinking, yes, this is it. So they announced it. They said, because of this, I think they pretty much said we've been judging like a bag of shit. And we're keeping this one simple. It was 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, rowing cows and burpees over the rower.
So that was the final.
That was the final. Like,
that should have been like, maybe the chipper should have been the final.
Yeah, I know. So it was a bit like, a bit simple and a bit like, yeah, okay.
Well, at least they couldn't fuck it up.
But that's exactly what she said. She said, look, the judges are tired. I think she said something along the lines of them. Flipping heck, judges are tired.
Yeah, they've been working out all day.
I know. So it was like, so we sort of, we smashed that. We finished 4th out of 6. And again, it was seconds. We were seconds behind the other teams. And again, one of the other teams, the guy did everything. The woman did, apparently, the woman did like 6 burpees and like 3 calories in a row or something. So that's a bit of a joke, really, isn't it? Come on, But anyway,
unless they said split the work as you want.
It did, yeah. You could do what you want. There's nothing you can say about that, but it's just like supposed to be mixed pairs comp,
you should do 50.
Not a me versus you sort of guy who can pull out on a roll, but that's what it turned out to be. But I was chuffed again because I thought I paced it really well. I was pulling serious cars, like between 17 and 1800 cars per hour. So giving it the guts, and again we got the strategy right. We got to I did the first 21, Dan did the 18. I did the 15. I think she did the 9, and then the 12. I just stayed on the road then and just hammered the cars out. So yeah, we finished 6th overall, but we did finish 4th in that final, and did ourselves proud. Really, yeah, it was really, and the support we had. I just want to give the guys a shout out as well who come down to watch us. Lucy, Andrew, Alex, Dan.
Andrew.
Alex, Andrew, the bag lady, he come down from start to finish, fair play. And he'd never done CrossFit, seen or done, or never knew nothing about CrossFit, but he was really getting into it and he really enjoyed it. So yeah, I just want to say thanks to him, Lucy.
Well done, Andrew.
Well done, Andrew. Shout out to Andrew. The lads, Alex and Dan, James, and Rachel and Gary. Yeah, Rachel, the head coach, come down, and she was an absolute lunatic. She really brings the energy she does to competitions. I give her that. And yeah, working out when you got all them screaming from the balcony, it makes it a lot easier. And yeah, so thanks for that, because the support was unreal, and I really felt that. Yeah, so yeah,
you need it when you're
shout out to them
in the dark times. I remember when I did Battle for Middle Ground,
Absolutely.
and I did the last workout on my own when it was a pairs comp.
Yeah,
because my partner got injured, and I had all my gym members literally around me, saying, "Just bloody keep going." Yeah. I was like, "I can't."
Yeah.
But you just find that sort of inner energy, because
absolutely,
it's just it's awesome.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to Dean and Charlotte as well, who are competing there with us, because they podiumed. They finished 2nd in the Masters category. So yeah, massive congrats to them as well.
Congrats, guys! Great job. Right, maybe we're gonna have to stop it there. Now we run out of time.
We haven't got to your comps.
It's all right. Well, we can touch on them next week or the week after, but.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, been good.
Sorry, I took up all the podcast. Talking about my competition.
Mate. That's fine. No, we'll do another one again.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I haven't competed, so I've I'll just quickly summarize mine in 2 or 3 minutes now. So I've got my next comp in 2 weeks. That was Rob. I've just said it'd be 5 minutes away. Okay. So I got my last comp of the year, I think it is now. Yeah, thank God. Castle Games teams of 6 in 2 weeks' time. So it's going to be in RX category. So looking forward to that. They've released some workouts. So as we mentioned, we've got the
dreaded worm.
And
so is that all 6 of you are going to be on that worm?
No. So what they're doing is pretty cool, actually. They'll name the number of people to go in.
Right.
So saying on the whim, 4 athletes have to compete, and at least one of them has to be female.
Right.
So it's an 8-minute AMRAP of 20 worm squats, a 50-foot worm lunge, and then 20 worm shoulders of overheads. Brutal.
Wow.
And then you get 1 minute rest, and then between minutes 9 and 12, they said to be confirmed. So we're wondering, what is that? Likely, I think either synchro burpees over the worm,
right,
or thrusters with the worm. We don't know. We don't know is the honest answer, but it just looks horrendous.
Do you know, I've never picked a worm up, so I have no idea how it feels like. But when you watch it on telly and the athletes doing it looks brutal.
All technique from what I can see. So luckily we got one in our
timing,
box.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we've got one in our box, so we'll jump on that.
Absolutely.
The second event we've been announced is so this is only 2 male athletes. So it's a 6-minute AMRAP. So 6 synchro down ups, 6 hang power cleans, and 6 shoulders overhead. So No weight announced yet, but it's likely probably going to be like 60k, I would have thought.
And you say that's going to be synchro again, is it?
It's just an AMRAP. So the only thing which is synchro is the down ups.
Right. Okay.
So for me, I've said like I'll go in on that one. That's me all day.
Oh, that's your wheelhouse. That is big time.
So we'll probably do like 3 reps each or something like that. But
between 6 of you though, I can't imagine them splitting out between 6.
No, there's only 2. There's only 2 of you got to do.
Oh, it's 2, is it? I got you.
So
sorry.
2 are going to go in for that one.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sorry.
And then the first event is just 2 females, so it's 8-minute time cap. You've got to do 100 double unders, and then the buy-in, and then 4 rounds of times. There's 20 toes to bar, 15 dumbbell box overs.
Oh, nice.
It's cool because it's
not too bad.
You can like sort of sit out an event and rest.
Yeah.
So it allows you to play to your strengths a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that.
So yeah, we've got that one in 2 weeks.
Send them in.
Yeah, Christ. So and then I'm judging the day after for the scale comp. So that'll be cool. Right. First time judging. And then I've just literally entered another comp or 2 comps for next year. So I'm doing battle for middle ground, same sex pairs with one of the lads in the gym.
Yeah.
So we've gone in like intermediate level. So we have to qualify for that. That's in January, the qualifiers. And then we've entered Battle for Middle Ground's new competition called Ragnarok, which is a 2-day festival in England.
That's cool. Wow.
And we've entered that in intermediate as well. So, because RX for Battle for Middle Ground is just insane. Like, you need to do handstand walks. You need to be able to do like muscle ups like with your eyes closed.
Right. Okay.
Which
Battle for Middle Ground's a big deal, isn't it? That's a lot of our guys from our gym did that a couple of years ago. They
do loads of comps. So we're trying to get into that. We got to qualify for both of them. So we'll see. But we'll chat more about that next time we pod, because we got a meeting now, haven't we?
Yes, we've got an important meeting.
Very important meeting for the DadFit podcast.
Yes.
So thanks, bud.
No worries.
And we'll catch up Saturday when we speak to Alex.
Look forward to that.
And we'll speak then. So until the next one.
Until the next one.
Yeah. Cheers, bud.
Cheers.